Good morning to you. Or it is morning for me, it might be evening for you. I don't know. Just close the visor a little bit there. Yeah, I'm on Bertie. Yes, it's September, but it already feels like winter. And as you know, Bertie usually ends up being used as my favoured choice of transport for my daily commute to work. Yeah, you'll also notice from a previous mutter that I've got this contraption. Yeah. So this mutter is basically going to tell you a little bit about this and why. And there has been a couple of videos on, because screens are controversial now. Yeah, absolutely marvellous. Some people say, do we need them? How big a screen do you need? And all that. Well, for me, I watched the Bingley Wheeler, and he had one of these given by this company, Aoocci, however you want to pronounce it. I don't know. Aoocci. Yeah. And when I saw it, I thought, well, that's a gimmick, and that will never work on Bertie, because it's just going to vibrate to death. Yeah, marvellous. But what I'm going to tell you now is both the good and the bad about it, because I've got this on here for winter. Yeah, because of some features that it's got that are going to make my life easier. So obviously straight away you can see it's a Apple CarPlay. You know, it's got all the stuff your phone's got on. You just scroll across and you will find all your usual apps. Yeah. Obviously for me, I always have Waze on as my sat-nav because it tells me where all the rozzers are. It tells, oh, hello, did you see them all come running across? Marvellous. They all wanted to have a look at my Apple CarPlay. Anyway, yeah, I forgot where I was now. Obviously I'll stop and do a full play with it. Now, the gloves I've got on are not particularly touchscreen friendly, but I do want to show you what I use. So obviously for the sat-nav, it's a much bigger, easier screen for me to watch. So there's that, and you can split the screen. So what if I put my sat-nav on? There you go, I've got my sat-nav on the route, and it'll come up and it'll tell me if there's any rozzers, potholes, all that lot. Excellent app, and it's bang up to date. It'll tell you alternative routes, and it changes pretty quick if you decide to vary it yourself. You can split the screen, so if we go onto there and I do that there, all of a sudden I've got my sat nav, I've got pointer there, you know, like the beeline type thing. I've also got my music there, the last song that I played, Give a Little Bit, Supertramp. Yeah, give a little bit of love. Yeah, that's what I say. So there's all that lot. You can answer the phone, you can send texts if you've got a headset. I don't have a headset, so obviously I can't do that. What else? Well, for me, if I hang on, my glove's twisted round on my finger. For me, the best one, you've got to go to the home screen, which is just got that picture of a car. Should have a picture of a motorbike, and you can probably edit it for your own screen. Yeah. So let's get down here. Obviously, I wouldn't advocate doing the touch screen while you're going around the corner. No. Safe operation only. So if I go onto the home screen, you'll see there what we've got a little camera. Yeah, Bertie has a camera front and back. Now, a lot of you will think, oh, that's just a gimmick. No, it's a safety feature. For me, I've been reversed into, I've had cars nudge me behind. Thankfully, I haven't had a catastrophic accident, but you need a bit of protection, because when those things happen, I was lucky enough when someone reversed into me that I had my camera rolling, and there was no question with the insurance company. They paid out, everything done, sorted. No one's going to argue with you. Well, this, if you touch that, there, we've got the camera behind, we can see a car coming up, and he'll catch us up quite quickly. You can also see I'm late. Now you can record if you want, you can lock it in, and you can change camera views. So if you want to, you can change. There I've got both up, so I've got the front as the main one, and I can see behind as well. Absolute, for me, it's a no-brainer, dead easy. Now, so there's that. You can also use it to give yourself a better vision of what's going on than you can on the mirrors. Let's face it, on a lot of bikes, mirrors are not that fantastic, are they? They're great if you want a picture of your shoulder, or your elbows, or your knees in some instances. Yeah. So you get that. What else? So let's go back to home. If I can, my glove keeps twisting round. That's quite annoying, isn't it? I'm going to try and use the other hand. And this is one of the downsides to touchscreens. All the time you're doing this, you're distracted from the road. So, you know, you've got to use them sensibly. And obviously, sensibly, he's not trying to make a film of it, because it becomes all a lot more difficult. So there we go, finally. Yeah, so back on here as well, you've got all your settings and your Wi-Fi. Setting up is dead easy, but for me, one of the best ones is this one. So on this screen, I've got a compass, which is absolutely bang on because it's GPS. I've got a speedo, which is also bang on because it's GPS. And I've got a tyre pressure monitor. Those of you who have been watching for a couple of years, you'll know that Bertie's had a few problems in the last couple of winters with tyre pressures. And I found myself having to get down and check them all the time. And for the last month, I've been checking them against this, and it's bang on, absolutely spot on. As you can see, front 22, just about right, and the rear 30 is down a bit, but I think that's because of the temperature. You'll also see it's got a little sat-nav thing there as well, but I don't use that on this one because you have to set it to Google Maps, and I prefer Waze. I think that's how what you do. So yeah, so that's about all the functions of it. What I'll do is I will stop shortly and do a walk round. Yeah, I might use one that I did the other day, or I might do a fresh one. Right, here he is, Royal Enfield Classic 500 Bertie. Yeah, obviously he's going to end up being my winter commute, isn't he, and autumn commute, and that's why, after seeing the Bingley Wheeler with this CarPlay on, I thought, would that really work on Bertie? And how difficult would it be to wire in? Well, I was surprised. It's dead easy. I've got the cables, they just run under the tank, one to the live, one to the earth, and one I've wired into the ignition so that it comes on and off with the ignition. Yeah, it's got a cable to the back where I've mounted the rear facing camera there, and one to the front obviously just comes down and down to the camera, which I've mounted there. Absolutely marvellous. I thought, let me get on. This would vibrate something chronic and you wouldn't be able to see it, but as you've seen, you can. It's dead easy to read. So you turn it on, ding, on it comes. Obviously it's going to connect automatically to my phone now, and setting it up is dead easy from scratch as well, because it'll automatically find your phone, and you just, the instructions are so simple, you can't really go wrong. So what then? Well, you've got the CarPlay. It's just finishing off connecting now, which looks like this, just like any other CarPlay, and you can screen through and you can see what else you've got. You've got your music and your Google Maps and BBC sounds and all sorts. But for me, what I'm interested in, these are the ones I use the most. You can see here, you can split the screen, so you've got your sat nav there. I use Waze most of the time. There you can see my audio book, yeah, and then any messages that crop up come up there, and I just need to get rid of that. There we go, and that's gone. If you just want the sat nav, you just push the sat nav and that comes up on its own. But let's go back to this full screen, because on here what you've got, this is the main one for me, I think. Here you've got this panel here, which tells you your tyre pressure front and back. Yeah, there's a little cap that goes on that connects via Bluetooth, tells you your speed, and you can wire a sat nav in here. I haven't done that because I prefer Waze. And a compass that's absolutely spot on, absolutely marvellous. And then sometimes you have to find the right button. I've got big hands, yeah. Then what else have you got? You've got your camera there. You can see the rear camera, the forward facing camera. You can split between the two, so you've got the rear facing one as your main one, or you can go back. Now if you're out on the road, so there we're looking straight ahead, there we're looking just behind, and if something's happening, you just push record and you can record it and it'll save it. It's just marvellous. Then you can replay it. You've got all the settings for the camera just there. They're obvious, straightforward, easy to follow. If you want to go back to the home page, you do that, and then you can go back to your maps, whatever you want. Relatively easy to use on the hoof, even though it's vibrating about a lot, even when it's raining on it. But yeah, I thought it was a gimmick. I thought it'd be a bit of a joke, a bit of a laugh, but it's not. About 150 quid, something like that. But yeah, there's a big debate about screens at the moment. Some people think they're distracting. For me, in winter, I think this has got so many features that just make it so reasonable for me to get. When you turn the ignition off, off it goes, shut down after 5 seconds. Bye bye. Yeah, and that's it. Right, I'll get my helmet back on, and we'll get back on the road just to finish off. Yeah. So, as you can see from that, dead easy to fit. If you want to see full fitting instructions and setup instructions, pop over to the Bingley Wheeler, because he's done it. Now, I have spoken to this company because they have been emailing me a while, and I sort of ignore it because, as you know, I don't do this sort of stuff. But given the debate that's going on at the moment, oh, I thought I've got to go do a video on it. Now they've offered me a discount code and some money if you buy one from the link, but I'm not gonna want that, so I'm gonna talk to them and see if they can increase that discount that you'd get if you bought one for the share that I'd get. I don't know what it is, I can't remember, but they are about 150 to 175 pounds, something like that. I don't remember exactly. There is a newer model with a slightly bigger screen. I know, well, back to the debate again. But yes, a gimmick. The downsides, right? Taking it off. So if you've got to leave your bike anywhere, I haven't bothered taking it off, I just leave it. No one's touched it. And you can take it off as long as you bring an Allen key with you, to undo the back, and then you're prepared to disconnect the wires, which are just, I've got all mine just down there, so they're on a screw. It's not difficult, but it is an inconvenience. Like I say, for me, it doesn't bother me. But what would be ideal would be a plug-in at the back, wouldn't it? You just unplug it and then take it off. That would be the thing. The advantage is I don't have my £1,500 phone out exposed to all the elements. No, being shaken and stirred, getting wet, running all that risk. Yeah. And so, for me, what turned out as a bit of a joke, actually, I've found a really useful tool, and I am very pleased for it. So that's about it, really. Unusual one for my channel. I don't usually do this sort of thing, but there you go. What do you reckon? I will catch you in another mutter, and you'll be seeing this quite a bit. Yeah, ta-ta.